on your behalf. It cannot just happen abruptly during the proceedings. So I hope members would just do that fine. Thank you very much, honorable members. We are now moving to the next order of the day, which is the policy debate on budget vote 17, higher education appropriation bill, B16 of 2025, which is a section 77. I do have the speakers lists before me. The first speaker on my list is the Minister of Higher Education, Honorable Nkabane. You have 20 minutes to present your speech. Over to you, Honorable Nkabane.
Honorable Chairperson and members, it is my honor to present the Department of Higher Education and Training budget vote for the 2025-2026 financial year. Our commitment remains steadfast to build a post-school education and training system that is inclusive, equitable, and responsive to the needs of our young people and our nation. We started this academic journey with the reality of the cessation of the United States funding for South African universities as well as researchers. The unexpected decision had devastating consequences for the South African higher education system, and out of 26 public universities, at least 13 were affected by the termination. However, there is reprieve as for the current medium-term development framework cycle. The department's budget has increased at an average annual rate of 4.4% in nominal terms. 2025 marks the first year of implementation of our 5-year strategic plan for the period of 2025 to 2030. Amongst others, during this period, our overall strategic focus areas will be on improving education outcomes and skills. We intend to complete phase 1 of the University of the Northwest Mining Campus by 2030, work to refurbish the erstwhile Giyani College of Education into a state-of-the-art campus of the Tshwane University of Technology, with first student registration in the year 2026 academic year, which is currently underway. Honorable Chairperson, in terms of the sector allocation, the following comments on selected budget items bear relevance. The budget of technical and vocational education and training for the current academic year is 14 billion rands, an increase from 13.1 billion in 2024. And this budget is projected to increase to 14.7 billion next year. We remain committed to reposition TVET colleges as a first choice for various careers of our young people. For too long, vocational skills were seen as second class, but today we are saying loud and clear, becoming an artisan is not a backup plan. Artisanal training and development is a backbone of a thriving economy of the 21st century. Our National Skills Development Lever, consisting of SETAs and the National Skills Fund, have a combined budget of 26 billion for the current financial year, and this budget will increase to 27.8 billion in the next financial year. The National Student Financial Scheme budget for the current academic year is 48.7 billion rand, and it will increase to 51 billion next year and 53.4 billion in the year 2027. While this is not sufficient to meet the growing demands for access to higher education, we continue to seek efficient ways of allocating limited resources to ensure that no deserving learner is left behind in South Africa. Overall budget for university education increases from 91.7 billion in 2024 to 96 billion in 2025 and to 104 billion in the year 2026 academic year. In the current academic year, we acknowledge that there is 1.4 billion deficit on the university budget, which is caused by the US freeze. We continue to work with the National Treasury to find a sustainable adjustment to university budget. In the meantime, we stand ready to assist our universities with necessary concurrence to raise funds from donors as well as financial institutions. In February, Chairperson, this year, I announced the appointment of the new board of NSFAS, the board which is comprised of highly qualified individuals with the expertise necessary to promote efficiency, accountability, as well as transparency within the organization. The board is led by the chairperson, a woman, Dr. Karen Stander, an esteemed scholar and academic. The board has commenced the recruitment process for the chief executive officer and other executive leadership positions. These steps are critical to ensuring that NSFAS can effectively fulfill its mandate. NSFAS is currently finalizing its annual financial statements and is exploring the possibility of utilizing prior year surpluses to fund additional students. Efforts are going to secure additional funding sources to support student registration and related costs, and these actions reflect a concerted effort to resolve registration delays and to ensure continued access to higher education for affected students. In the 2025 academic year, NSFAS is supporting approximately 811,000 students across various universities and TVET colleges. Of these, university students are sitting at 580,000 and TVET at 231,000. NSFAS has initiated direct consultation with various institutions to assess their capacity to accommodate NSFAS operations within their premises as efforts to decentralizations, because our drive is to make sure that our offices and services are accessible. Honorable members, I want to remind you that the first decision that this administration undertook through recommendations by Verman's report was to terminate the direct payment service providers, which were more like a middleman between NSFAS and students. And this was after several complaints from students that were not receiving their payments on time. And this process has been subject to tribunal process. Additionally, honorable members, NSFAS has been actively engaging with the Special Investigating Unit regarding the termination of its current head office lease agreement of 2.5 million rands per month, while NSFAS will comply with any court rulings on this matter. As publicly announced, the organization will need to seek alternative office accommodation and decentralize its operations accordingly, because we want to be accessible. Following concerns regarding accommodation payment processes, NSFAS conducted a comprehensive legal review on the contracts of student accommodation intermediaries who are charging us 5% fees, and we believe that this amount can also fund some students who are vulnerable, who want to access post-school education and training in South Africa. We are awaiting for a report for us to make a determination in this regard. This is our commitment, honorable member, to clean governance, to accountability and transparency, and to root out corruption, any potential corruption and maladministration in our post-school education and training system. Honorable Chairperson, we are committed to repositioning and transforming the National Skills Fund to target youth unemployment in line with our MTDP. The Fund's Strategic Plan 2025-2030 and the 2025-2026 APP serve as a roadmap for impactful skills development, ensuring alignment with national and ministerial priorities. The National Skills Fund will continue its support to the Human Resource Development Council of South Africa and the National Skills Authority in steering national skills and human resource development strategies. In the State of the Nation address in February this year, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa announced a set comprehensive measures to further support persons with disabilities as part of transformative initiatives to empower over 10,000 persons with disabilities through tailored training programs, stipends, and specialized tools with an investment value of R1 billion. Cabinet considered the approach in implementing the initiative as a national initiative that will be funded through the National Skills Fund, and implementation to be led by the Ministry for Women, Youth and Persons with Disability, but obviously integrating with some of the relevant departments like your Employment and Labor and Small Business. Further, the Presidential Youth Employment Intervention, a key initiative aimed at reducing barriers and expanding employment and training opportunities for young people, will receive priority during this MTDP. We are prioritizing young people, in particular those who are not in any training, not in any education, and not in any employment opportunities. The National Apprenticeship and Artisan Development Strategy 2030 is being implemented to address skills gap and increase the number of qualified artisans in South Africa. The strategy enables easy access to skills training through simplified training with a funded ARPL program, providing a shorter process to access trade testing. The National Skills Fund will continue to fund artisan development and contribute to National Development Plan target of 30,000 by 2030, and NSF is targeting to report on 5,000 artisan, a budget of R1 billion across various apprenticeship programs. Honorable Chairperson, funding for the Just Energy Transition Skills requirement will be provided through bursaries, scholarships, occupational programs, and work-integrated learning programs. The NSF has set a target to fund 1,000 beneficiaries for the Just Energy Transition Skills Development Initiatives, covering occupations across the Just Energy Transition value chain, including technicians, tradespersons, specialists, managerial, and elementary level roles. Honorable members, this year, South Africa takes over the presidency of the G20. The Department of Higher Education and Training will continue to lead in collaboration with the Department of Basic Education, the G20 Education Working Group, which will include hosting of the remaining education working groups in KwaZulu-Natal, as well as the province of Mpumalanga of the Rising Sun. We'll work towards the conclusion of the concrete outcomes and deliverables to be presented to the G20 meeting of the Ministers of Education scheduled to take place at Sikukuza in the Mpumalanga province in October this year. We have identified the 3 priority areas for deliberation in the G20 Education Working Group, which includes the following: quality foundation learning, the role of the early childhood care and education to improve the quality of foundational learning. Secondly, the mutual recognition of qualifications in a global context. And third, the education professional development for a changing world. We will ensure that our higher education institutions and post-school education institutions play an active role in the G20 presidency through participation in seminars covering a variety of priority areas and topics. In May 2025, the seminar on the mutual recognition of qualifications in a global context took place at Sun City in the Northwest Province. In partnership with the UN Girls Education Initiative and the Department of Basic Education, we are today currently hosting the G20 Education for Gender Equality and Peace, Advancing the Gender Transformation Education for All. It is in KwaZulu-Natal as I'm speaking here today. Recognition of qualifications and skills across borders is no longer optional, it is mandatory. This significance of mutual recognition of qualifications and skills is critical to foster academic mobility for student researchers and lecturers, labor mobility for skilled workers, policy coherence across countries and regions, economic resilience through a more agile workforce. I am proud, Chairperson, to share that the department is leading South Africa's Just Energy Transition Skills portfolio. As part of this work, the department will officially launch the Just Energy Transition Skills Desk and the National Just Energy Transition Skills Advisory Forum on the 29th of August 2025. The Just Energy Transition Skills Desk will serve as a national coordination hub within the department, tasked with aligning skills planning, policy and implementation efforts to support the Just Energy Transition. It will work in close partnership with government departments, industry partners, labor's education and training institutions, and communities to build a more inclusive and agile skills system. Honorable Chairperson, to change the size and shape of the post-school education and system, we are reviewing and amending the Higher Education and Training Act, Continuing Education and Training Act, National Student Financial Aid Act, and the Skills Development Act of 1998. This statutory review will ensure that we respond effectively to evolving challenges of higher education towards improving teaching and learning in the 21st century. The skills development system will continue to prioritize key areas such as artisan development and workplace-based learning programs. Over the past 5 years, South Africa has produced more than 95,000 qualified artisans, but we are not telling our stories, and largely through the sector education and training authorities. Furthermore, over the past 3 years, the skills development system has facilitated over 266,000 workplace-based learning opportunities, and this is particularly important given that youth unemployment between the ages of 15 to 24 groups remains alarmingly high. These learning programs are therefore not only critical for skills development in our country, but also serve as a key levers in addressing the challenges of youth unemployment and economic exclusion. As we commence with the medium-term development planning cycle, we have set a target of 5,000 workplace-based learning opportunities, inclusive of learnership, internships, as well as work-integrated learning over the period. Specifically for the 2025-2026 financial year, we aim to facilitate 90,000 workplace-based learning opportunities. In support of artisan development, our goal is to produce 20,000 qualified artisans in 2025, contributing to our broader annual target of 30,000 artisans as envisaged in the National Development Plan. Hence, you have seen yesterday, I was opening one of our trade centers in Gauteng in Soweto. Furthermore, for skills development programs, we have set a 5-year target of 355,000 opportunities with 70,400 target for the 2025-2026 financial year. Honorable Chairperson, the department continues with its commitment to build an inclusive, responsive, and transformative post-school education and training system. To this end, we affirm our support for the community education and training sector, which is a vital pillar in our efforts to empower out of school youth and adults with second chance learning opportunities. In my previous budget vote in 2024, Honorable Chairperson, I focused on the objectives of massification and diversification consistent with the white paper for post-school education and training. To support better coordination in our application processes, Honorable Chairperson, the draft Central Application System Bill is finally en route to the Speaker of the National Assembly following Cabinet approval. With all these statutory amendments, we hope to improve the efficiency and performance of the post-school education and training system in South Africa for the common goal. Thank you so much.